game to start. There's the countdown. It is going to be AZK viOlet versus Millennium Stephano.
Yes,
Anticipation screen is almost here.
I know. I was bouncing around in my chair yesterday from excitement. Getting there right now. Starting to get a little bit wiggly. Crowd can kind of see it. And here we go. Let's get things started here on Antigua Shipyard. On the right side of the map, the top right, in the purple color, we have viOlet. Oh, with a pause. Someone needs to tell him to hit Control S.
Need sound.
You know, it's funny, like 99% of the time when someone has like a sound issue, that's actually what it is. Just from, you know, just what I know about what happens at the GSL and all that. Players will be spamming a lot and they'll actually hit, you know, Control S when they're
I do that all the time. Or when I'm going for observer view, when we don't have this awesome scoreboard that we have here, try to hit Control N, actually accidentally hit Control M, disable music. So gives me an annoying pop-up, makes me look like a noob.
You know, the funny thing too is that it happens more often to Zerg players than any other race though, because early in the game, you know, you're spamming S a lot and you're hitting Control to hotkey things, you know, so it's really easy to accidentally hit Control S. Now it might not be that, you know, viOlet might legitimately have some sort of little sound issue. We'll have to wait and see, but you know, it's just kind of something, a funny anecdote, if you will, that I've noticed, you know, from the GSL. So
we're full of funny anecdotes, aren't we?
There you go. Well, we're full of something. We get to cast StarCraft too. That's good enough for me.
That's very true. You know what though? I don't know if you guys were able to check out the live on 3 again last night. Hope some of you in the audience were here. Yeah. But you know, IPL is planning to do at least 4 more of these events next year.
That sounds
at least
fun to me.
This size.
That sounds pretty good to you guys. All right.
So I hope you guys will come out and support us, and maybe we're looking at Vegas next time around. So
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to Caesars Atlantic City here at Circus Maximus for hosting us. It's been a great venue. I've really enjoyed it. Have you guys enjoyed the venue? It's been pretty fun? All right, I thought so. I see that sign.
I love it. I think there was a call to tweet at Caesars Palace to let them know that we want to be there next time. So
that's a huge thing to bring up. Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal, guys. I mean, especially for you out there at home watching on the stream, tweet at our sponsors. If you see a sponsor name, tweet at them. You know, let them know that you love what they're doing. That is going to really help grow esports, make it bigger. You know, we want the world to love esports. There's really no reason why they shouldn't. I mean, it's such a great spectator sport. You don't need to play at a high level to enjoy watching the games especially. You don't even need to play the game to enjoy watching the game. I mean, there's plenty of grandmothers out there that like it. I mean, and of course you guys as well.
You know, I really actually want to give a specific shout out to AMD. They're at AMD Radeon, so let them know that you're really appreciating this. They've been tweeting stuff from all over this event all week through their Guinness World Record overclocking attempt, through pictures of the event, and here we have it. We're back in the game.
We are on pause. It's time to get started again. At the top right part of the map, let's just do this over one more time. We have in purple, the color purple, it is viOlet. Give a cheer again for viOlet. Come on. All right.
And his opponent down here at the 6 o'clock position from Team Millennium, that is our pink Zerg player, Stephano.
Oh, cat's pajamas. These guys picked pink and viOlet.
They did.
So good luck telling Zerglings apart.
Yep. If there's a big fight, we'll kind of just scream various noises.
I casted one
like that.
I casted one event once online, you know, a while ago, and it was 2 Terran players, and they were like orange and yellow, so it was really hard to tell them apart again, you know. And Drewby was one of them. I asked him, I'm like, do you guys do this just to troll us? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. That's what we do it to troll the casters. So
yeah, it's funny. Pain User's getting the other side of that now in our office. So I always complain about it. He's like, wow, that really is hard to tell apart. And I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot, jerk.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway. So here we have it now. We are, let's see, spawning at the 2 and the 5 o'clock positions. So we'll see what both these players end up going with. If either one wants to take the offensive and go up for a baneling nest, or if we see the more defensive roach-minded play. Both players actually going to expand on 15, though.
Yeah, this is something we still see fairly commonly in ZVZ. You know, for a while in Korea, it was like the only thing people did, like 3 or 4 months ago. You know, it was back around, I think it was April, they had the GSL World Championships where they brought all the foreign players out, you know. And there is one event that actually changed Korean ZVZ forever. It was Damaga versus Nest-T. Nest-T would always hatch first without scouting, so Damaga just 10-pool all in with the drones, build a spine crawler in his base, crushed Nest T in that game, and ever since then, you've seen a lot less of just blind hatch first.
It looks like we do have a difference in our players' builds, though, as viOlet decided to go gas first, so he's going to have very, very quick speed links. Stephano, on the other hand, put up gas after pool, so that's going to come quite a bit later.
Yep. But, both of these guys are going to be about even for the Zerglings and all that.
Sure.
So not a whole lot to worry about early in the game. Now, the interesting thing is that if your opponent goes one base in ZVZ, gets like a speedling, opening or something like that, and you hatch first, generally you'll see that hatch firsting player get that early baneling nest because you're not going to have as many lings as they will early on. You're going to need a baneling or two to kind of zone them out, I guess, as well.
Sure.
So, I'm curious to see if one of these guys is going to go for a baneling nest. Now, since both of them fast expanded, they could easily choose to go for roaches early on, but it looks like we do have viOlet going for Zergling speed, actually. So
yeah, and finally starting to produce his first queen. He actually put up 6 lings in Zergling speed before he ever thought about putting up a queen, whereas those first 2 queens for Stephano are about ready to be finished, so
that's
a little
a safe
more,
thing to do.
Yeah, a little more safe, conventional timings out of him. His Zergling speed has started as well, but it's about, let's see here, 30 seconds slower.
Well, a lot of times Zergs did get that queen, really early on, just as soon as possible. It's kind of the natural thing to think, I want my queen right away, but the fact is, so early in the game, a lot of times you can't use all the larvae anyway, so a lot of players have started to kind of push back that queen, and, that's been perfectly fine. Looks like there's some Zerglings in the natural of viOlet, and just one kind of doing some scouting. Not a whole lot going on.
Nope, and looks like Stephano almost loses a drone, but he saves it. Nice control.
Yeah.
Keeps his own lings and his queen alive as well.
Now, Stephano has just been playing fantastic this weekend. I mean, like I've mentioned a couple times already, I had never really seen him play that much before this weekend. He has blown me away. I mean, this guy is really, really good. And viOlet, I've seen him play quite a bit in Korea. He's a former Code S Zerg, actually. In fact, this guy, viOlet, actually professionally played Warcraft 3 and made it to Code S and StarCraft 2 at the same time. That shows a lot of skill. That's
That is
impressive.
extremely impressive.
Yeah.
viOlet now, though, he's going after a bunch of speedlings, so he's just going to try and flood his opponent's base. Yeah, 24 coming up at the same time.
Wow.
Stephano going to play a lot more defensively. He has Baneling Nest coming up with a bunch of lings, but Roachhorn finally being thrown down for viOlet as well. He has sacrificed a little bit of economy to get there, though, on 24 drones versus his opponent's 28.
Oh, and viOlet following up this huge mass kind of group of lings to send to his opponent's base with a Roach Warren, too. So he's going to put some pressure on his opponent, give himself time to get that kind of defensive Roach stance, I guess, going. And then at that point, maybe thinking about taking a third. But Stephano's ready with the Banelings. Oh, viOlet losing a couple Zerglings from that one Baneling. That was close, man. He almost lost a lot more than that.
And you know what? Stephano has already taken out one Code S player in this tournament, so
true.
what's another one to him, honestly?
That's
so
very, very true.
both players are actually droning up now. We have 43 drones as soon as this will be finished up.
Oh,
But
viOlet.
the Zerglings actually ran around the side.
I was wondering.
Now
if
they
he was
have to
gonna go through
retreat,
with it.
though.
Yep. And look at that, viOlet picking off a couple Banelings here and there. One thing that we've started to finally see Zerg players do is manually detonate their Banelings, and that is
Oh,
pretty
wow.
good to do.
Single Zerglings coming after the Banelings. Very, very good control from viOlet.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Yeah, clap for that. That is hard to do.
All right.
So viOlet has a couple Zerglings left. He's not going to be able to do a ton of damage with this probably, but he does get to run to the main, get a good scout of his opponent, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Lynx do finally die for viOlet. Stephano pushing up with a few Banelings of his own, but sees a bunch of roaches and says, nope, and turns around for home.
In fact, Stephano starting his own Roach Warren as well, but at this point, Stephano, he's going to be ahead on upgrades because he did get that early evolution chamber, but viOlet will have the superior roach count for a little while. So if Stephano can kind of keep himself safe long enough to get, a good amount of roaches and +1, and viOlet still neglects the upgrades, Stephano should come out on top. The flip side of that is that viOlet, if he decides to get aggressive with roaches before Stephano has enough time to get a good count out himself, viOlet could win too. So these next couple minutes in the game are going to be really, really important for these players.
And viOlet is producing a ton of lings behind this. He's going to have 13 roaches and 36 lings. Stephano only going to have a handful of roaches. He's trying to move through his tech paths a little bit quicker. He's going to lair. He's got his third base coming up. Evolution chamber being put down with +1. Second on the way. So he's trying to very quickly move into a little bit later stage ZVZ. viOlet, though, wants to end this right now.
Stephano's played a lot more greedy this game. He's at 44 drones to the 35 of viOlet. And when you play greedy like that, you have to have excellent, impeccable defense. We'll see if he does right now. Looks like he has plenty to pull his way. Oh, but here come the speedlings from viOlet. Is it going to be enough? The banelings working in as well. If viOlet can pick up the banelings.
God, they're so close to getting those perfect detonations.
Oh.
It forces viOlet to continue to back away. A few lings go down. The second baneling's about to fall as well, only 3 hit points. But Stephano has actually neutralized the roach numbers from viOlet.
Look at that, but viOlet still has so many Zerglings. Stephano did do a good job of keeping the lings out of the fight for as long as he could, but viOlet just has way too much stuff as far as offense goes right now. More roaches coming out right now for Stephano, but will it be enough to defend? A couple lings as well. Things are looking pretty even. I think Stephano is going to be able to hold, though.
Good control with the queen, runs away, has +1 attacks in the mix now as well. So his roaches are actually just incredibly more powerful. I mean, that +1 attacks, especially when you have roach versus roach wars, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, Stephano did that the way you need to do it. You need to barely hold. If you can barely hold, you can get that superior economy to your opponent. And look at that. Stephano almost 30 supply ahead of viOlet right now. viOlet has taken a little bit of a drone lead during that attack, but Stephano is pretty far ahead right now, especially with that third base completed.
Yeah, he really is. Macro hatch coming up now for viOlet, but he is going to lose all of these spine crawlers without canceling them. A lot of lost resources. viOlet trying to defend now, but this +1 attacks is already done for Stephano, so his roaches are so powerful.
He's going to get a lot of drone kills with these roaches right now. Streaming in more reinforcements. I think viOlet might just have enough to hold here, but he's going to be so far down on workers. Yeah, 23 to 46 right now. Stephano doubling the drone count of viOlet.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is streaming a few more units in slowly but surely. He's actually got to turn around now because viOlet has a much shorter reinforcement distance.
But it does turn around.
Yep. He'll start backing up and going home. viOlet actually going to pursue, though.
Yeah, now the thing is, the upgrades have been very helpful for Stephano as well. He has had +1 for quite a while longer than his opponent. He's going to have +2 as well. There's going to be a short point in time where Stephano and viOlet are both going to have that +1 attack.
And it looks like that's, let's see, how far is that away for viOlet? About 25 seconds. Actually, Stephano's on 1-1 now. He did finish up +1 armor in addition, so he's going to be able to take a lot more damage in addition to dishing it out. Now 14 more lings, 5 more roaches coming up with +2 weapons. So Stephano continuing to pull ahead in this game, up by 45 supplies, still up by 25 drones.
Yeah, he has just played this so well, not overcommitting quite at all. viOlet had a couple good timings there, but the defense for Stephano has been great, and now he's able to use that GG, and Millennium Stephano winning game 1. Wow.
Yeah, very convincing fashion as well. I mean, the way he held that huge attack from viOlet.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought for a second there that Stephano